You guys asked for it, so I'm bringing it to you. This is the 2019 Honda Insight Hybrid. Last week I actually reviewed the Corolla Hybrid, and in that review I kind of compared the Corolla to the Prius. But in the comment section of that video, no one cared about the Prius. You all wanted to see the Corolla Hybrid compared to the Insight Hybrid. So today I'm going to be giving you a full in-depth review of this car. It's essentially based on the same platform as the Civic Sedan. It shares its styling with the Accord sedan, but it adds a ton of cool hybrid technologies and features that we're going to get into in this video. Under the hood, the Insight is powered by a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with a variable valve technology that we all know as VTEC. And VTEC has been around since the 90s. It essentially delays and preempts the opening and closing of the engine valves to either improve fuel economy at low RPMs or improve power in the higher RPMs. And speaking of power, with the 2 electric motors in here as well, the total system output should be 151 horsepower, which is good to propel the Insight from 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds. But that's not really that important to the average Insight owner. I imagine they're not that into, power specs and 0 to 60 runs. They're more interested in fuel economy. So I'm happy to tell you that with this powertrain, the Insight should get a combined 52 mpg. But if you buy a Honda Insight, you're not going to be looking under the hood at the powertrain every day. You're going to be looking at this exterior. And I got to say, the styling on this car, it's kind of interesting in the front of the car, but then unfortunately gets a little bland on the side. But to talk about some of the features up here, I love this long chrome accent piece in the front that's really going to help this car stand out. And it really adds a little bit of shine to the front because there's not a lot going on the hood or really along the front fascia as far as the lines of the car go. So it's really good that they have this chrome accent piece to really make it pop. And it actually extends into those LED headlights, which have a very, very aggressive look to them. It's somewhat similar to the other cars in Honda's lineup, like the Civic Si I reviewed a few weeks ago, but it looks so much sharper and more aggressive and futuristic. So the front end of the Honda Insight is fairly interesting, but as we move along to the side, it just gets a little bit bland. This is really, if I had to pick one area of the car where the Corolla Hybrid was with 100%, no doubt, better than the Insight, it has to be the exterior of the car. It's good in the front, but on the side, there's just not a lot going on. We have a little bit of chrome trim around the window pieces. We have heated side mirrors here that have a decent look to them, but as far as like the body lines go and the general features on the side of the car, there's just not a lot going on. It just looks like flat sheet metal that they slapped onto this car. But it does come with 16-inch 5-spoke alloy rims. Again, those have a somewhat bland look to them. They don't really add any contrast to the side of the car. Really, the only feature you get on the side is this nice blue hybrid badge. Again, just not a lot going on. And the same continues in the rear of the car. It's very, very similar to the Accord with LED taillights and just not a lot going on. However, the interior is a lot better than the Corolla Hybrid, so let's hop in and check out some of the features in there. And when I say better, I mean it is a lot better than the Corolla Hybrid. Not only do you have the same basic standard features as that car, but you get a much more ergonomic and pleasing design. And you also get a lot more passenger space as this car is quite a bit bigger. Now, to start off with some of the features, obviously we have a standard 3-spoke Honda steering wheel with paddle shifters to control that CVT transmission. You also get, as standard, a 5-inch infotainment screen up on the dashboard. Now, this looks a little bit old to me. It doesn't really fit with the modern vibe of this car, and it's way, way too small when you compare it to other modern cars like the Corolla Hybrid. However, you can upgrade to an 8-inch screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto if you go into a higher trim level and pay a little bit extra. So you got a ton of different options there depending on whether or not infotainment is that important to you. But what you get in every Insight that I think is far, far greater than the Corolla Hybrid is this center console area right here. This is the best, I'm going to say it right now, this is the best, I repeat, the best center console area I have seen in any car. Doesn't matter the segment, doesn't matter the price, this is the best. Why is that? It's just designed for usability. You've got a little control stack here that allows you to select your gear. You also have, very simple, you have your drive modes here. You've got an EV, Sport, and an Eco mode. Very simple. You also have, this is the best part, you have a place to keep your phone, the perfect size right there in the midst of it all. And it also has a USB charging port. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a grippy surface there as well, so it doesn't go sliding all around the interior as you're going 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds. This is just complete genius design here. I love the way it's all set up. It's simple, it's perfect, it's ergonomic, and it's very usable. And it looks pretty good as well. One thing I don't like is this little center armrest here. First of all, it's covered in this odd cloth material instead of the nice leather they put on the dashboard. so it's not entirely comfortable to put your arm on. I would imagine it gets rather hot when it's out in the sunlight because it's black, and it also has that terrible sliding design that I hated so much in the Corolla Hybrid. If you want to flip it up to use the cup holders, you got to kind of claw your way under there to lift it up, or you can slide it back, but that's just annoying as well, and it still blocks that rear cup holder. So I don't know why all hybrid cars have to have this design with the center console, but it's just terrible if you ask me. And speaking of cup holders and storage areas like that, you do get a decent amount of space in the trunk as well. Honda actually positioned the batteries for this car under the rear seats of the car, so you know it's not supposed to take away any of your cargo space. And all around, like I said, the design of this car and the features you get leagues and leagues above the Corolla Hybrid, even if the exterior design isn't. Make sure to check out my reviews of the Corolla Hybrid and of course the Civic Si by clicking on one of the cards right there. Also, special thanks to AutoNation Honda of Clearwater for allowing me to review this Insight today. I'll put a link to their inventory below. Remember to like this video, comment your thoughts below, check out my channel if you haven't already, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching.